Our story is a long story of trying to increase the franchise, trying to embrace more and more marginalized outside people, everyday people, into the fruits of our democracy. It's a long fight. I practice and have for years because I've been through very difficult times, very pessimistic times in politics, and I sometimes am close to despair. I can't afford despair because when I go to my computer at my office and at my home, I look at the pictures of my 5 grandchildren. Henry just graduated from high school and is on his way to Lewis and Clark. Thomas is 17, Nancy is 14, Jassy is 10, and Sarah is 5. They have no representative. They have no lobbyist. They have no vote. They just got a grandfather. And if I give up, if I quit, if I allow myself to wallow in despair, it's too late for them. So I practice what a political scientist named Gramsci in Italy wrote many years ago. I practice the pessimism of the mind, which is, as a journalist, I see the world as it is. No rose-colored glasses. No false illusions. I see the world as it is. But I practice the optimism of the will, which means that I cannot survive in my life and my time without believing in a more confident future. And then to get up every morning to do what I can to make that future come about. I have a larger platform than you. I have the venue of television, but that's no more important than the venue you're working in here as volunteers for one of the most important pieces of reform that will move us to the fulfillment of democracy for all of its citizens. Thank you for doing what you're doing.
Don't we already miss him on public television? Yeah. Make it, guys. Friday night is not the same anymore. Thank you, Bill.
But I gave you back your social life.
There you go. So Bill said that he has a few minutes to take questions, and we'll try to provide answers if anyone has them.
Yes.
Hi, Bill. My name's Andrea Grazzini. I'm another Italian who's interested in politics. And I want to kind of go to something you said about the Constitution. The question is, in our democracy, we, and Citizens United is a perfect example, we have decided to debate what constitutional rights are, this life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. I'm wondering if we ought to take a look and understand what we, the people, the preamble, means.
Well, the most beautiful political language ever written, in my judgment, is the most unread in American classes today, and that is the preamble to the Constitution. It is a beautiful, noble, and practical document, because what it says is the only way to survive in a civilization is for people to collaborate. And there are plenty of studies by anthropologists and sociologists and others who have shown that we have made more progress as a species through collaboration and cooperation than through competition. Competition is important economically, but it is not what politics is about. Politics is about trying to create and keep stable civilization. Civilization is but a thin veneer of civility stretched across the passions of the human heart. And it can rip at any time. Look at Weimar Germany, look at Rwanda, look at South Africa, look at any other society where they don't have a preamble that says, we the people, meaning Republicans, Democrats, Libertarians, Liberals, Socialists, and others. We the people, meaning rich and poor. We the people, white, black, yellow, brown. We the people, male, female. That is the most powerful political statement that I know of in the history of political literature. Yes.
Step up here. Hi there, my name's Narelle. I'm with XTV, and I just had a quick question. What do you feel should be our top priority to focus on right now with the number of issues going on from the constitutional amendment to pressing environmental issues?
Instant runoff. I'm serious about that, because most of the big problems you can't address unless you join an organization that is representing you in the fight, like the Sierra Club or Earth Justice or the NRDC. But you can make a difference within the reach of your own time and your own presence. And instant runoff. If you all can take instant runoff from St. Paul to the state legislature. Now, I understand that Minnesota has not had a majority governor in about 2 decades. That's not the way to sustain a vital democracy. So I would say, and I mean this sincerely, this is the most important issue right here for you. You can't do much. There are other organizations working on Citizens United, Free Press for People.org, a great organization called freepress.org, another organization called Public Campaign, whose thesis is that if anybody owns the politicians, we the people should, and therefore public funding should be available under certain standards for anybody running for office. And so there are many things that can be done. You have to pick the one that is nearest you, that excites your own private, personal passion, and that causes you to spend the time it takes. It is not easy filling this office of citizenship. It is not. It is not easy to be informed today. We're saturated with information. But if you work at it, spend time at it, you can both be informed about what's happening in our society, and you can find a place where, for maximum expenditure of energy locally, you can have more influence than you could in Washington. My son was very active in politics, started one of the first powerful websites called tompaine.com. Graduated Middlebury College, went to Washington to do it, worked 5 years, burned out, moved back to Middlebury, refinished an old mill, living there now, involved in local environmental fights, stopping a gravel pit, for example, that would intrude and undermine the little town where he lives. And he said to me just recently, Dad, I can spend for a pound of energy, for an ounce of energy expended in Bristol, Vermont, I can have the results for a pound of energy for an ounce of energy in Bristol, I can have the influence of a pound of energy exerted in Washington. So I cannot overestimate or overvalue the importance of picking a fight here like this, winning it, and moving on to enlarge it to other political entities.
I did not put him up to that. I promise you.